I developed my first framework about 12 years ago, and we've helped 400,000 students learn that framework, master it, and conquer awkwardness or feel more confident. Some of those folks had very professional goals like getting raised or promotion. Other folks were so socially anxious and so awkward they couldn't make friends. Other people were looking for their soulmate or their partner. And so 400,000 students have told me that this framework works.
Nobody teaches us this stuff, do they?
Or actually, extroverts tend to teach it. So I read the quintessential How to Win Friends and Influence People back in the day. And that's a wonderful book, but it's a book written by an extrovert. If you are not naturally extroverted, I am not naturally extroverted, I'm more ambiverted. It is very hard to learn how to communicate if you don't naturally gravitate towards people. I was like, there has to be a way to teach introverts and ambiverts to be able to feel confident without having to fake it till you make it, without having to pretend to be extroverted or outgoing, to be taken seriously or to be charismatic.
What's an ambivert?
So ambiverts get energy from the right people in the right places. So for example, in this interview, I love one-on-one conversations. I feel myself. But if we were to go to a loud bar or a nightclub, I would completely shut down and want to be alone. Ambiverts can dial up extroversion to hit their goals. So if they know they have to be friendly and meet people for an interview or a position, they can do it. But they need lots of recharge time. The reason why it's important to know if you're an ambivert is because you should know what are the people and places that drain you. There are certain people, when you open your calendar and you look at it and you're like, oh, that is someone that drains you. They do not bring out your extroversion or your natural love of people. There are also certain people who you feel you could talk to for hours. They give you social energy. They charge your social battery. So the very first thing I have students do is sit and make a list. Who are the people who give you energy, who charge you up? Who are the people who take from you? Those are people that we want to put boundaries around, we want to say no to, we want to limit as much as possible. And then also the places. Where do you thrive? Is it conferences, one-on-one business, or is it friends, socializing, parties? Knowing those places helps you optimize your social battery.
And when you say cues, which you said at the start of this conversation, people think of just body language. Is that the sort of full extent of areas that you focus on?
Yes, so their cues come into 4 different channels. There is body language, that's facial expressions, gestures, posture, but there's also vocal. So vocal cues are the tone of our voice, our pace, our volume, our cadence. There's also the words we use, obviously verbal cues. The types of words that I'm choosing to use are signaling my warmth and competence to you. And the smallest channel is our ornaments. The colors we wear, the jewelry we wear, the way we wear our hair, the way we wear your facial hair, those are also signaling different things or cueing people to feel a certain way about you.
And what about what we say? Because I know you're writing a book about, I don't know if I can leak this,
you
but
can.
Here we go.
Yeah, you can.
You're writing a book about conversation, so what we say.
So I did not realize how powerful our words are. And here's a study that really changed the way I think about this. Very simple study. They brought people into the lab and they split them up into 2 different groups. In one group, they said, today you're gonna play the community game. And they played kind of a prisoner's dilemma type of game. The second group, they came into the same room, the same researcher, and they said, good morning. Today you're gonna play the Wall Street game. The trick was the games were exactly the same. There was no difference between the 2 games. What they found was everyone who was told they were playing the Wall Street game shared an average of 1/3 of their profits. Everyone who was told they were playing the community game shared an average of 2/3 of their profits. This means that one word, community game, community, made people think and feel more about community. It made them act more collaboratively. This means that the words we're using in our emails, our subjects, our texts, our LinkedIn profile headlines are cueing people for how they should treat us. One really simple way to think about this is your calendar. I send out calendar invites multiple times a week to clients, to friends. When we have meeting, one-on-one, call, video, interview, I'm being cued for nothing. Those words are so overused, they're sterile. If you add cues that prime people to feel or think a certain way, you're actually setting them up for success. So 2025 win, collaborative session, strategy meeting, goal overview, teamwork collab session. Those words are actually cueing that person's brain every single time they open their calendar that when we read a word like collaborate, we are literally more likely to be collaborative. So the words that we use, even one single word can actually change the way people think.
It's funny because our entire lives are people. Like the difference between me being a president, prime minister, superb salesperson, exceptional entrepreneur is probably just my understanding of other people and how I show up in my words and my cues. And so when you think about it like that, this could be, for many people, the most important subject for them to improve upon.
I would even go further and say, if you don't have people skills, you cannot succeed. You cannot succeed in life. You cannot succeed in love. You cannot succeed in business. It doesn't matter how smart you are. You need people to have success. So this is, I think, the most fundamental skill that people can invest in.
And how many people did you say you've taught people skills to?
400,000 students.
And is there a particular case study that stands out to you as being the most extreme in terms of case studying the fact that someone can go from 0 to a wonderful place?
Yes, and it's my very brilliant but stoic student. So I've noticed, especially over the last 10 years, because I've been doing this for about 17 years, in the last 10 years especially, my most extreme students are the students who are very, very smart, very talented and good at what they do, but they don't know what cues to send, and so they completely shut down. They try to become stoic, unreadable, they try to have no facial expressions, they literally try to poker face all the time. And as they try to make connections, meet a partner, make friends, people don't like them, people don't trust them, they can't get buy into their ideas. And those are the students where I see the biggest transformation. They don't realize that muting your cues is a danger zone cue. If you try to be stoic and unreadable, people literally cannot get a read on you. And so my biggest transformations have happened when I can say, you don't need to hide your true feelings. It's about amplifying them with the right cues. There's a famous example of this, Jamie Siminoff, founder of Ring. So I don't know if you ever watched Shark Tank.
Yeah.
So in this episode, for those who haven't seen it, Jamie Siminoff entered the tank and he pitched $1 billion idea, literally $1 billion idea, because it went on to raise funding from Shaq and Richard Branson. But in the tank, he pitches the idea and he gets so much pushback and so much negotiation and he walks out of the tank without a deal. In fact, the Sharks did not like him. What happened? He had the $1 billion idea, but he did not know how to share it. This is the biggest transformation I see, is people who have brilliant ideas. They're good people, they're hardworking people, and they cannot get buy-in. They cannot make friends, they cannot find partners.
How do they feel? So if you had to say words that make them feel seen right now, how are they feeling as they're listening to this?
Overwhelmed, getting into interaction, just social overthinking, not knowing what to do, not knowing what to feel, underestimated, like people don't see you or the real potential that you have, a lack of confidence and fear, afraid that if you are your true self or you try any of the things we're talking about, people won't like you. And I want to teach you that you can be yourself and you can be liked and you can find your people. And that doesn't mean everyone's gonna like you, but it means if you signal the right things, cues tell others how to treat you. If you signal the right cues, you will find your people.
One of the things that I was sort of inferring from what you said is the importance of understanding your resting bitch face. That's like the term we use in the UK, resting bitch face, which is like when you're just listening or doing nothing. Like, how does your face look?
Yes.
And you're telling me that's really, really important.
It's real. So I call it resting bothered face. Because
Okay,
I have
I
to be
probably
a
shouldn't use that
PhD.
word.
Resting bothered face, RBF, same thing.
Okay.
Okay, this is a real phenomenon, which is that all of us have different faces at rest. Now I want you to look at my face for a second. My face at rest, I'm gonna rest it for a second. My mouth angles down in sort of an upside down U. So it looks like this. You see how these are going down?
Yeah.
Are you laughing at my U?
A little bit.
Okay, so at rest, I look a little sad.
Yeah.
That is just my mouth at rest. Yours goes pretty straight across.
I just,
You have a lot of hood. That's what that's
I have
called.
a lot of
A
hood.
lot of hood.
Yes.
This is hood. Yes. Yes. So that probably makes you, do people think you're angry or tired?
Both.
Both. Okay. People never call me angry, they call me sad. You need to look in the mirror and figure out what is the default of your face. If your mouth angles down into a frown, people are gonna think you're sad. You're gonna have to be counteracting that with your cues. If you have a lot of hood above your eyes, or you have these two vertical lines that appear between your eyebrows, you actually don't have them, but if some people at rest even have those two lines, people are gonna think you're angry or frustrated. If you have down eyes, so I don't know if you noticed, but I've added cat makeup to my eye.
Ah, yes.
Yes, that actually makes me look less sad, because also my eyes slope a little bit down at the end, which makes me look sad.
Okay.
So people often are like, are you okay? Are you tired? I'm like, no, that's just my face. So I have ways that I counteract it. One, I get to use makeup, which is a great thing. But second, I know that I need to make my face a little bit more up, right? So when I am interacting with someone, when I'm on video, when I'm interview, I typically rest my face in an upward position. I've activated these muscles, so don't I look happier?
You do, but have you got to consciously tell yourself to do
Yes.
that, or do you just always remember?
No, I have to consciously tell myself to do that. Now, I only need to do that with people with a first impression or when I'm trying to make a good impression. My team knows that I'm not sad, right? Like my team, they see me all the time. They see me without makeup. They know that I'm not sad. They know that's just my face. So here's what's critical. One, you should know, what is your resting default? Are you looking sad, angry, or afraid? Oh, afraid I didn't do.